You can't hide authenticity. Patients see it, they eat it up, and they will act on it. All right, my friends, the Ultimate OD Podcast. We've been talking about running a better business. We're going full circle here. We went from the ways to do it, you, your staff, and now we're talking about patients. How do you get your patients to follow your therapies, follow your treatments, to buy more from your practice? We're talking about that in this episode. We have the closing thought of the day. This is the Ultimate OD Podcast. Here we go. All right, friends, the Ultimate OD Podcast. Thank you for tuning in, the likes, the listens. Fire it up, man. I love optometry. I love this profession that we're in. Business is good right now. Gives you a little more juice. I've been doing this for 13 years now, and I'll tell you this right now. Even though we're doing amazing, having amazing months, I'm going to grow and expand. And as I do that, you always have that worry in the back of your head. Is like, is the spigot going to turn off? Is the business going to continue to grow? Is this a risk that's worth taking? And honestly, when I see, if I was on the outside looking at my numbers, looking at what we're doing, I would be like, yeah, go for it. You're going to be fine. It's going to work out. But when I'm in the moment and I'm the one in the center of this, it's hard to fathom that. So I just want to give you perspective because I know you're going through that. If you're starting a practice, if you run a practice, you think these things on a daily, right? And you just get better at ignoring them or accepting that thought, that fear that you have from time to time is just part of the process. And I think once you accept that that's part of the journey, things do get easier. You're still going to have these worries, but that's just what happens. It doesn't change what you do or how you act. You accept it for what it is and know that it gives you the full experience. Just some mental jujitsu that I've been thinking about and wanted to give you some insight about. That being said, we're continuing our series of growing our business, being the best we can with operations. At the beginning, we talked about how to increase your revenue or increase your net. That's what we're trying to do. At the end of the day, take home more money than we did last year, right? We talked about having your vision, having focus, getting the staff on board. Today, we are talking about our patients, okay? And how do you approach the patients? What do? You think your staff has a small bandwidth? Look at a typical patient and think about the bandwidth that they have. They don't even know why they come in for the exam, for heaven's sakes. They can't process glasses and glaucoma. You tell them about glaucoma and they'll look at you and be like, okay, but what about my glasses? What? Excuse me? Glaucoma is a blinding disease. Your pressure is 38, ma'am. Yeah, but I just want my glasses, right? Their bandwidth is very short. Well, over the course of the exam, there's a million things that you can talk about. You have a million things in your clinic. You have myopia management. You have your dry eye clinic. You have your progressive lenses, contact lenses, multifocals, right? You're talking to them about macular degeneration, cataracts, dry eye. Just everything that's going on. How much can they really take in? What are they understanding? What are they hearing? How effective are you? Like, you want to make yourself crazy? Try to talk to the patient about everything you see in the exam. I know you talk about, I see some practices that talk, they have scribes and they dictate their exams and they're talking about X, Y, and Z. Like, oh, the patient thinks they're getting a great exam. I'm sure they do, but they're buying you as a doctor. They believe in you. They hear all these things, and yeah, it's a different experience. But to have it really be effective, to get your vision, get your mission across to them, you have to narrow it down. Or you have to know what is going to move the needle. The thing that made me kind of realize this is I'd go through exam, and these are my early years. I've gotten a lot better now, and I'd explain about their optic nerve and glaucoma, cataracts, the things they can do for dry eye. I just lay it all out there. And I'm like, they're nodding, they're smiling. They're like, all right. And I'm thinking in my head, I'm pretty good. This guy thinks I'm really smart. I'm a genius, right? I am the greatest doctor ever. Why do all you other doctors, why are you inferior to me, right? And you know what the patient would do? They'd go out to the office or out into the exam room. I'd give the handoff, tell them to talk about X, Y, or Z. And they'd look at my staff and say, so am I getting new glasses or not? What? All these things, I laid it out on a silver platter. I had the best explanations in my mind, and they just want to know if they were getting new glasses. Do they need to or do they not? Yeah, you do. Or no, you don't. Right? They weren't hearing me. And then I noticed that when I'd schedule a follow-up visit, my no-show rate was higher. When I'd have a treatment protocol and they did come back, they weren't doing it, and they didn't know why they were back for a follow-up. They were pissed that they had another copay. I don't know, right? I've gotten a lot better. We're educating the patient. I've polished my explanations. I know what my staff has explained to them. Even then, I'm not perfect, right? But you know what I started doing? Narrowing the scope. Narrowing the focus, right? You can't talk about everything. Just like you can't do everything, your staff can't understand everything that you want to have done. The patients can handle even less, right? You have to make it palatable. So our job as clinicians, one of the most important nuggets I can give you in this episode is make sure you as a staff know what their pain point is. What is the one thing they want to get out of this exam? I don't care if it's refractive in nature. I don't care if it's a medical concern. What do they want out of this exam? What is their biggest area of concern? You have to address that. And then you get one other thing. I know, one other thing. But they have a million things going on. You have to pick, right? If you want them to understand, if you want it to get through, you have to have their main concern. And they may accept you talking about one thing they didn't plan on coming to the office for. Now, again, you have a couple, amazing patients that can do it all. They take notes. They come back with their notes and say, you said this last year. Oh, man, you were listening, right? But they can only handle so much. And they want themselves taken care of first. Now, there's times when you have to be like, honestly, we have to switch courses, and this is serious. We have to do this now. Those conversations usually resonate. But when you're talking about preventing macular degeneration, addressing your dry eye, getting new glasses, contacts, multifocals, whatever you want to talk about, they can only handle so much. So what is their biggest area of concern, and what is the next most important thing? Okay? Now, I'm going to say a swear word in the doctor community. Selling, right? I don't think it's a swear word. I don't think it's a bad thing. We are always selling. Your spouse, your staff, your patients, you sell what you believe in, right? When you're picking the things that you want to talk about outside their one area of concern, even in the things that they are going to resonate with, if you're a contact lens guy, they're going to buy contact lenses. If you're a big glasses guy and believe in the optics and all this, they'll buy glasses from you. Frames, you name it, you sell what you believe in. The staff knows, the patient knows when you're just half-weighing it or if you're giving everything you have. You can't hide authenticity. Patients see it, they eat it up, and they will act on it. Have you guys ever tracked your accessories, what you're selling? Like, we track in my office our supplements, so lutein, zeaxanthin, diabetic DVS for my promise, our omega supplements, our masks, drops, tea tree cleansers, Avenova spray, you name it, we track it. And you know what happens? I see, literally, if I'm like, I'm going to talk about lutein, we're going to get a lot of lutein this month. Or I'm going to talk about a bunch of omega-3s. We're going to talk about this. What you talk about moves. I've made a conscious effort this past year to increase my percentage of daily contact lenses. I was at like 28%. I'm over 35 now. Year to date, doing a ton of dailies. Why? Because I'm talking about it. My lutein, I started doing retinal photos on every patient. I talk about the macula, talk about lutein. It's an easy transition. You know what happens? My lutein sales, my vision elements, early defense sales, through the roof. Right? I believe in it. My wife takes it, I take it, we take it. Right? I think it's one of the most important supplements you can take for the eye. My dry eye patients, when I talk about omega-3s, they sell. But I kid you not, last year, I was doubling up how many Bruder masks, how many tranquilized masks, how many cleansers and sprays I was selling. Now, I'm still doing it, but I'm not as gung-ho about that. I know there's bigger things that I can go after that are more important to me. And I still do those things for my dry eye patients. I love having them in the office and having the inventory, but I'm not moving nearly as much because I'm also, last year I sold 0 lutein and zeaxanthin. 0 of that stuff. Well, I didn't like MacuHealth really. The company is what it is. But I know it's a benefit. And now that I'm talking about it, it moves. It's just watch what you talk about and see what moves. It's crazy. When I started emphasizing AR coatings to my staff, they started talking about it. You know what the patients started doing? Getting AR coatings. What you talk about, what you believe in, sells. But like we said, bandwidth is only so wide. What are you going to pick? Now, you say it in the exam room. What else has to happen to make this connect? One of my friends, my mentors, has been kind of guiding me. The phrase that she uses is surround sound messaging. So what that means is the posters you have on your exam walls, the on hold message on your phones, the marketing that you do on social media, the things you talk to your staff about is all the same messaging. Whether we're talking about the importance of ocular surface health, whether we're talking about the importance of myopia management, everyone in your office has to be rowing in the same direction. If everyone is giving the same message, that's your culture. Your culture will dictate what the patients are going to do. And you know what? Your culture isn't for everyone. That's fine. But if you get believers, you get people that love what you're selling, they want to hear this message, you're going to be the best experience, best doctor they've ever had in their life. People that resonate with me like to take care of themselves. Ocular health and wellness. We love preventative medicine. Bottom line, people that just want the cheapest possible thing don't do well at my office. We have people come in, they just want what's covered or this and that. They usually don't come back. That's fine. That's just not who I'm serving. But people that want comprehensive, full service, full scope care love my office. And that's what my staff knows. That's what we talk about all the time. Surround sound messaging. Get everyone on board. Listen to episode 203. This is how you get your staff to have that surround sound messaging. All right? Pictures. Yes. A picture's worth 1,000 words. I've done so well by showing patients pictures, not even of their own eye. I'll take a picture of SPK and corneal staining because I don't have the ability to do it efficiently, to show them corneal staining. Like, this is what I'm seeing, and this is why I want to do what I want to do. Or I show them their mybography. I'll show them the back of their eye, the retina. This is an ERM. This is what's going on. This is why we're doing X, Y, or Z. Look at your optic nerve. This is bigger. This is my eye. I compare my eye to theirs, and they're like, oh, that is bigger. When they see it, whether they understand it or not, they know it's a thing. I think pictures are crucial to you getting your point across. Whatever you believe in, whatever you want to move or sell in your office, you have to have pictures that resonate with the patient. Get pictures into the equation. Get them into your explanations. It will move mountains for you. The last thing I think that I've really seen is consequences, right? This is what you have. My biggest concern, my fear is if you don't do X, Y, or Z, this is what happens. Let them see the end result. I talked to a patient that has early NK. She's a post-LASIK patient. She has severe dry eye. And I'm talking to her, because you've had the LASIK, your corneal nerves are desensitized. You also have dry eye. You're on a screen all day. This is what's happening. This is my concern if we don't do anything. Yeah, sign me up. I don't want that. I show them their meibomian glands. If this continues along this trend, this is what my concern is will happen to you. We talk about it so they know if you don't treat this, these are the consequences. Glaucoma, if you have it, if we don't do anything, it can be a blinding disease, right? You're not trying to scare them, but you want them to know why your treatment matters, right? So those three things will help you have a better message with your patients. So it's a two-part process here, right? Narrow down what you're going to talk to that patient about. When I'm going through the exam and I'm looking at their lids, their lashes, I look at the back of their eye. If I see drusen, number one priority. If I see a patient with drusen and some lid stuff, you know what I'm going to go? I'm going to talk about the drusen. We'll talk about the lid stuff and say, these are the symptoms. You haven't complained about X, Y, or Z, but you need to address this. We'll talk about this in the future, right? You have to pick and choose, or if you try to get both, give them a priority. This is the mainstay. This is what I think you should do next. If you have to pick one, start here. You make that decision. You guide them. But if you give them a smorgasbord of options, these are all the things going on. Pick and choose what you want to do. They're not going to do anything, right? So narrow it down and then make them understand. Have your messaging be uniform. Have everyone rowing the same way. Pictures to show and consequences if they don't take action to what you're recommending. These things will make your patients want to come back and get more information from you. You'll be a better doctor because they'll do what you want them to do. They'll take care of their eyes. They'll have better health. Everybody wins. So like I said, easy process. How do you track this? I want you to track whatever you're selling. So whether it's, supplements, whether it's therapies, whether it's consults or whatever, AR coding, pick 1, 2, don't go crazy with 3. Pick 2 things, and then this is your focus for this month. This is what we're going to talk about. Start talking about with your staff, talk about with your patients. You, Y-O-U, the doctor, talk about it in the exam room and see what happens. I promise you, if you talk about what you believe in, it will start to have positive effects on your office. It's how you grow your office. That's how you increase your net. We talked about why and how. We talked about you having focus, getting your staff on board, and now we went full circle with your patients. Next week, we'll talk about making the specialty niche that you've been thinking about this entire time, how to make that profitable. But these are the things you need to do to have a better operation, a better business. That's what I have. We'll have more for you next week. Where has the time gone? We are to the closing thought of the episode, and I have a quote for you that I think is amazing. And it's from Anne Lamott. I don't know who Anne is, but I saw that she said this, and I think she's very smart. Almost everything will work again if you unplug it for a few minutes, including yourself. You need a break. I need a break. If it's not working, unplug it, let it sit for a few minutes, plug it back in, it'll work. You need to do the same thing for yourself. Mental health is also wealth. Health is wealth. Mental health, cherry on top. That's what I have for you. Dr. Lily out.